We return to the Railways of the Porterverse map exploration. Well, it's been a while, but I'm trying to get onto it. But here we are now with part 2. And this is a part 2, and part 1 will be pretty much essential to watch this one consistently. So if you haven't watched part 1, I would highly recommend watching it. But without further ado, let's jump into the map exploration part 2. We'll start where we left off, in the upper region of Sodor. We'll start with the Arlesdale Tramway. The Arlesdale Tramway starts at Killin, like a couple other branch lines. From Killin, we go to Arlesborough West. This is not the version from the books. Then we go into Arlesborough, through Arlesborough Road, and Arlesborough Road is actually a station of a tourist line. We then go to Upper Arlesdale, and then finally into Arlesdale End. These last two stations are where the Arlesdale Mini Railway runs to and from. Speaking of which, the Arlesdale Mini Railway is a tourist line, and it is very different from the books. This is where Mike, Rex, Burke, Jock, Frank, and even the Blizzards, if we want to count them, this is where they all live and run. The line starts at Upper Arlesdale and goes through various turns and over steep terrain before terminating at Arlesdale End. Not much to say here, it's pretty short. Now we go to the Brenham branch line, and we start the line at Wellsworth. And from Wellsworth we travel south to Sudbury and Lower Sudbury. Lower Sudbury is where a marina is located. The RMS Aquitania is also preserved here as a floating hotel. After that follows some distance to Upper Brenham, and then finally into Brenham itself. And this is where the iconic Brenham docks are located. Cranky is based here. Although Brenham docks are a lot smaller in this universe compared to other universes. Now let's go to the Killin Line. The Killin Line is a rather interesting one. In the Porterverse, it had its own subsidiary running at one point, and it has two junction stations, these being Abbey and Kildane. And they are the starting points that lead into Kronk. No, not that Kronk. That Kronk. And from Kronk, we go into Valesbridge. This way Wharf is. This is where the connection to the Scarlet Railway is met, via the former Mid-Sodor Railway line. From Valesbridge, we travel to Kirk Line. This is the transfer station for the Coldefell Mountain Railway. And then north of it is the terminus of Peel Godred. This is where the scrapyards are located for the railway. Not much to see here about the Killin Line. Now let's move on to the Kirk Line. The Kirk branch line is a rather short one. We start at Kelsthorpe Road and head down to Rolf's Castle. We then travel to Kirk the terminus of the line. This is where the station is located and also a small dockyard. This is where Scarlet was unloaded when he first arrived in the 1860s, and where Gordon crashed into the station in the mid-70s. Not much to see here other than it's basically just the line that goes to Kirk from Season 5. Now on to the Ulfstead Castle Railway. The Ulfstead Castle Railway is basically a creation of my own. It's a custom railway. This is a miniature railway owned by the Earl of Sodor, and the line connects to Ulfstead from the Northwestern Railway and to the Mining Museum, which I mentioned in part 1. And from Ulfstead we travel to Ulfstead Castle. This is the physical castle grounds that the engines are kept on. The museum, engine sheds, and other various attractions are located here. And in terms of how it looks, it's very similar to how it looks in King of the Railway. From the castle we go to the middle station, simply labeled as Dinosaur Park. This is a middle station that has a mini loop for select trains, and where a dinosaur park is connected to. And then we head to the nearby terminus of Great Waterton. The line ends here, and also we've now covered, I believe, all of the standard gauge railways. Now down to narrow gauge railways. The Scarlet Railway is essentially almost the exact same as the railway series, just with a few minor tweaks here and there. The line starts at Crovan's Gate, which also has a mainline connection for the Northwestern Railway. Then we travel north into Crosney Curran, then past Glennock, and into the town of Reneus. We then head to Scarlet, which was the original terminus. There's also Lakeside Station on the Loop Line. From Scarlet Station onward, the line is former Mid-Sodor Railway rails. We head from Scarlet to Silvercliff, also known as Rumbling Ridge. We then travel to Elephant Park, home of the Sodor Zoo. Then we travel to Valesbridge. This is the modern-day terminus of the Scarlet Railway. Now let's travel to the final line we're going to cover on this map, the Coldefell Mountain Railway. The Coldefell Mountain Railway is a mountainous line with about 8 engines on its roster. The line starts at Kirk, which is also a train station from the Killin Line. We cross railway tracks as we head to Shiloh, and then to Falconsburg. Falconsburg is basically Scarlet Railway Road with a different name. Guess we might as well give it a more unique name. You know what I'm saying? Also at Falconsburg is a coaling plant and water keller here to prepare the engines for the big climb up. As from Falconsburg, we travel to Devil's Back, and then finally the highest point of Sodor, Coldie Fell. And with that, we have now covered everything on the Porterverse island of Sodor. And just like that, we have now covered the entirety of the Porterverse island of Sodor as it stands today. What a roller coaster and a half of a ride. May have taken a while, about 1 to 2 months I think, and 2 whole videos to get done, but hey, we did it. Just know that this map might change over time, as it might find reason to change certain things here and there, but only time will tell. And I just want to thank you all for sticking around for this whole map video journey. I really appreciate it. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.